In today's fight news, we start off with the new fight announcement as Alex Perez will be taking on Tatsuro Taira on June 15th. Former women's strawweight champion Rose Namajunas will be taking on Macy Barber in a main event on UFC Fight Night on July 13th. And in a middleweight clash, Cody Bundridge takes on Abdul Razak Al-Hassan on the same card June 13th. Tracy Cortez will be fighting Miranda Maverick at UFC Vegas 94 on the 20th of July. On the same card, Brad Tavares takes on Yoon Park. Also on the UFC Vegas 94 event, Doo Ho Choi takes on Bill Algeo. Luana Carolina will take on Lucy Pudilova on the same July 20th card. And on July 27th, UFC 304 card, Molly McCann will take on Bruna Brasil. Also added to the UFC 304 Manchester event, Shauna Mama B. Bannon takes on Ravina Kennedy Oliveira. After his big stoppage win at the main event of this past weekend's UFC St. Louis event, Derek the Beast Lewis is now back in the top 10 rankings. Carlos Ulberg moves into the top 15 rankings at light heavyweight after his impressive 12-second victory at this weekend's UFC St. Louis event. While on an episode of the MMA Hour, former featherweight king Jose Aldo says he still is undecided if he's going to re-sign with the UFC or move to another organization. In his words, he states, "It's not about the money anymore. It's more about what I can accomplish." Aldo also tells Ariel Helwani that he was offered a slot on the upcoming Netflix Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson card against Niraj Goyat. Chase Hooper credits his recent success in the UFC after a 3-3 start to his move up to lightweight, calling it the quote-unquote adjustment period that Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira both had. BKFC president David Feldman says Conor McGregor's new ownership in the BKFC organization is going to do wonders for the company, stating, "He has needle-moving equity. He has substantial equity in the company. He has enough equity to really make a big play here." Feldman also states that the BKFC is looking to do a future event in Ireland, the home of McGregor. Darren Till tells the MMA Hour that he's not impressed with Mike Perry's recent success in bare-knuckle fighting and states that he has a boxing match on the horizon. Former interim welterweight champion Colby Covington says that he's down to fight Charles Oliveira if he makes the move up to welterweight, stating that the lightweight is big for the weight division. Covington had this to say to Submission Radio in regards to Oliveira. "I want legacy fights. I think a guy like Charles Oliveira makes sense. We're very comparable in size, but skill? No. That's where we're not comparable. That's where I just beat him everywhere. I'm a better jiu-jitsu artist than him. I'm a better striker. I'm just a better all-around mixed martial artist." Covington said he's also down to fight number 2 ranked welterweight Bilal Muhammad, saying, "I see myself KOing him. It's just an easy fight. He can't strike with me, and I'll show the world that he's just one-dimensional." Ahead of his upcoming Bellator Champions Series Paris headliner, bantamweight champion Patchy Mix says that he doesn't get the respect that bantamweight champion of the UFC Sean O'Malley does, even though he has a better record and more finishes. The scheduled July 1st boxing match between Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal has been officially rescheduled for July 6th in Anaheim, California. Speaking of which, Masvidal took to his X account to state that the fight will take place on the 5-year anniversary of his 5-second record-breaking knockout of Ben Askren. Gamebred says that Nate Diaz is going to face a similar fate in their boxing matchup. Ahead of their upcoming July 20th boxing match, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul had a press conference today in which Tyson addressed claims that he's too old to be fighting the much younger Jake Paul. Tyson's response, "I'm beautiful. That's all I can say." Also at the press conference, former opponents Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano faced off ahead of their rematch in the co-main event on the July 20th Netflix event. The attorney of Devin Haney has officially submitted an 8-page letter to the New York Athletic Commission asking for Ryan Garcia to be disqualified from their previous matchup due to PED use, prohibited use of IVs, and admitting missing weight as a tactic for an unfair advantage. This is per Boxing Scene. Lastly, according to Chava ESPN, Floyd Money Mayweather and Victor Ortiz are going to have an exhibition rematch on the 24th of August. The fight will take place in Mexico. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the content, like and subscribe.